Hello, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the Gaming and Streaming News channel. If you guys could tell one thing, yes, I have spent an arm and a leg trying to improve the audio for all of you guys, so I hope you all enjoy. And microphones are not my thing, so if you guys have any help, leave a comment down below. If you also have any topics you want me to talk about, leave a comment down below, because this one is easily one of the spicier ones that we have probably ever had. That being Scump finally speaking out against Call of Duty from an OpTic Podcast. Feel free to go check out the entire thing, because it's a super long segment. Beyond that, we have had tons of top-level pro names and, well, owner names, CEO-level people. We've talked about Nadeshot. We've talked about Hecz. We'll probably talk more about them in the future, but you also have players like Crimsix and Clayster and Aches and someone like Scump now finally speaking out, which he does it hesitantly because we've talked long about his fine from the Call of Duty League, his issues having sponsors with Raid Shadow Legends, which he eventually walked back and still had that sponsorship and got that bag, which we love. But here is Scump, who, when he talks, people listen, about the ongoing issues between Activision, the devs, Call of Duty League, and the players. Here's what he had to say.
Contentness
well,
that there is?
It was kind of like a... See, I'm going to get my shit fine. But it was kind of like so MW came out. Everyone knows how they felt about MW competitively, you know. Not
I think
great.
that if you're talking in third person, referring you're as Seth Abner, not as your business, Scump, I think that you're safe.
But everyone had their thoughts about MW competitively. Squad spawns, maps weren't great in everyone's opinion, not mine personally, but you know, I thought I loved that game. But, you know, they didn't like MW. And it was 5v5. Nobody knew what to really think.
The game was horrible.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you're yeah. But
so
then Cold War comes out, and Cold War was actually
It was better.
a pretty solid like
pretty
game. It had, you know, standard Call of Duty spawns, pretty decent maps, good enough maps to at least get us through a year. The gunplay was fun, movement was a little bit clunky, but the game was like overall good.
It was fun.
And then League play came out, and then it was kind of a disappointment because it wasn't the League play everyone wanted, but at least it was something. We're not to that point yet with this current game, but the start of this current game compared to those two is like, it's somehow I can't say it. I mean, no, it's not a good start to the year.
Okay. That's good to say, because you're not talking about Call of Duty. You're saying just the year itself.
You just want 2022 to be the best year ever. You just want it to be way better than this year.
It's not a good start to the year.
Wait, did you guys get killed by Krampus in scrims?
We didn't scrim during those days. We were scheduled to scrim, but we were like, I'm not playing with this fucker running rampant.
Dude, I fucking wish
someone would
Seth
be
getting killed by it.
Someone would be on Gavitu, just like in hill, and then you just see them get their arms pulled back with their head ripped
He fucking kicks their leg in, and they get on their knees. They're like, what the fuck? Rip their head off.
But I mean, I think people just had like already low expectation coming into the year because of MW. Cold War again. I thought Cold War was like good enough. Good enough to have a good year of competitive. But once this game came out, everyone was like really high hopes because there were 16 maps. They were talking about how long the game has been worked on. We're going to get a new Warzone map, so everyone was just excited. Yeah. And then for it to fail like it is, and then that just kind of compounds on top of the fact that the infrastructure has already been in question of like the CDL and stuff. So now everyone's just losing their shit. Yeah. And now people are just pointing fingers like, we need to do this, we need to do that. But in actuality, there's nothing that we can do. We've already tried to bitch. We've already tried to moan.
That's a good point.
It's nothing new. We've been doing it for a while now, and it's gotten us nowhere. So it's like...
That's true.
And that's why people are now becoming outraged, because you came out about it. I came out about it, I mean, years ago.
Yeah.
And the fight that people were trying to fight is just a losing fight, and it's a losing battle. And I think people are getting fed up, and obviously tensions are building.
Dude, it's like you're shouting shit at a wall.
Yeah. There's 4 maps too. There's 4 HPs, and we play 4, and then we flip sides and play them again, and that's a set. And then it's so down bad. But it's like I feel bad because everyone's like so frustrated. But I'm at the point now where I'm just like, dude, like nothing we say has done anything over years, over a decade. It's not like it's just been since the CDL. This has been an ongoing thing for a decade. When like people just think it's gonna flip.
Yeah.
And I hate the response they give you where they're like, listen, man, I hear you. Listen, I'll get that where it needs to go. And I'm like, where'd that go? Just disappeared into the abyss of just like...
We've had issues, you know, for a long, long time. And again, like as much as I want to speak out, and I still do, I feel like sometimes I don't sit there and say I love the game. Like there's sometimes in scrims where I'm like, this fucking game. Like you know, I'm raging.
Yeah.
I do want to speak my mind, but I also don't because like people don't know what these fines are like.
What I mean by
I got
you
fucking
shouldn't
slapped on the wrist last year, and I was like, Jesus, I'm not doing that.
What I'm saying by you shouldn't is like it shouldn't be on you because you're the biggest personality on CDL to have the voice. You know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be on you. It should be a collective thing. The way that it is today, what happened today is the thing to do. Right? The problem with voicing and the pros having this conversation, and I'm not talking about every single one, okay? I'm not talking about every single person that replied to this, but there are people out there that just have asinine mentality about the shit that happens, and that gets all lumped in with the pros conversation.
Was
a small stage.
And everything that
stage.
Halo did correctly are the exact same things that we have been just trying to preach and get for our community for years and years and years and years and years. I mean, remember last year when I tweeted out why the fuck isn't league play at the start of the year? It got brought up today, and then Vaughn slapped back at me. Like, shit like that. Like, we've been bitching.
Yeah.
Like, but it gets to a point where it's like, I saw Pat Akes tweeted out, it's like everyone's talking to a brick wall, and that's what we're doing.
So obviously, when someone like Scump is talking, people are going to listen. All of this was sparked by someone like Censor, who all of a sudden one day he woke up, chose violence, as Censor usually does on Twitter, and was like, hey, you know what? The Call of Duty League would be just fine or in a better spot if all of the pros were stop being so complacent and started making content. We had so many people going back and forth. It was Censor, it was Akes, it was Octane, it was Hecz, it was Simp, and all of these guys speaking up on what the league actually needs. And eventually, we all started arguing with ourselves. So it eventually led to what we'll probably talk about at a later date, Nadeshot and Hecz. They went back and forth for over an hour on solutions, but also many problems inside the CDL. And this was Scump's take on all of that. And the main point that I took away is they have been moaning. They've been biatching, right? They've been yelling for years and nothing has actually come of it. So now is, a better time than any because Call of Duty is at a state where we are in store for what could be, well, not only one of the worst years in CDL, if not the worst one of the few we've only had, but also for Warzone. So if there is a better time for Call of Duty to listen, I couldn't name one beyond right now because we have seen now more than ever more pros, players, CEOs, and high-level people inside the Call of Duty franchise speak out against it, and that includes the King Scump. So hopefully they listen, and they've started to. Thanks to CDL Intel, it seems that all 12 teams are now being speculated to actually be allowed at the majors, and that's a great first step, but certainly more needs to happen, and that was Scump calling out and speaking up against the Call of Duty League and what it actually needs. What do y'all think about it? So next time, I've been having so many issues with this microphone. If I move it, it just cuts out. If you guys got any tips, leave a comment down below, and it costs a lot of money, but hopefully it's going to be a good improvement here on the channel. Drink water, drink coffee. I'll catch you back here next time. Take care.